like to welcome you all again to my podcast. No apologies, real and sarcastic. Why am I even going to talk about this right now? I didn't just wake up one day and felt like, wow, today it's a great day to talk about capitalism. It's started way smaller. Like, I'm always thinking about how normal life used to be. It wasn't perfect, but it was lighter than now. Like, when we were kids, life was really slow, especially if you were born before the 2000. It felt really different than now. You wanted cheap ice cream, it didn't even used to cost you half euro or something. You waited for Friday to come so you will not have school, so no suffering anymore. You just will sit at home, play with your siblings, or go to the street and play. I thought about adults have answers always, but now now you wake up tired. You're really late for something. Always you are late for something. You owe someone money, maybe rent, maybe the bank, maybe emotionally, etc. And at night I ask myself why life became this heavy. Because we didn't suddenly become lazy or anxious or stressed or having panic attack out of nowhere. We didn't suddenly become stupid, which we are not. So what really changed in this life? How the system changed? That's why I'm talking today, not as an expert, just as a human being trying to understand why surviving now feels like full-time job as a slave, let's say. So let's start with a story. It's going to be like really simple story. As part one, we will go with when life was normal. I remember when being successful meant simple thing. For me, it meant to do a new drawings, for example, or writing something, or by my own imagination and for my own upcoming adulthood. Having a job with something I love, helping people with my art, having time for people I love as well myself, having friends, also maybe having a house on one day, maybe with with a garden or far away from the city. This was my dreams for the future. No one talked about um, hobbies, or no one said, if you're not protective, you're wasting your life. You could be tired, it's okay, but it was really normal to be tired. It was really normal to be just by yourself, living so normally without time passing so fast, without feeling this heaviness in your chest out of nowhere. So you feel like you're doing something illegal as well. You just don't even know how to spend time for resting. So you will try to act like you have control over your life. So you sit on the couch all day, keep watching some Netflix or just playing games or whatever. But in the end, you're not really doing anything in you and yourself. You're just having this kind of routine. If you don't have work, okay, it's weekend, you just sit, watch some movies. You're doing nothing, literally. But it is doing something still, but not in the way that we used to imagine our life would be when we get older. Then I realized something really weird, that everything became measured, like your worth, your time, your body, even your dreams. So somehow existing stopped being enough. So nothing, like even by existing yourself, I don't know if you think about it, that you already exist. And this is alone, it's a huge thing to exist and to live, to breathe every day, to walk, to eat, to drink water, to do a lot of things in your life. This is alone, it's too much and it's enough for a human being. But even these kind of things, it doesn't matter, and it's not enough to do this. It's not enough to do job. It's not enough. It's becoming something more than that what we are capable of as a human being. So about this, we can go now to part two, when the pressure sneaked in to our life, maybe to our brain, let's say our imagination, because nobody really announced it to us. There was no meeting, but just everything suddenly became, you need experience to get a job. Experience minimum 3 to 5 years. You need to have multi languages. You need to be a little bit white, maybe a little bit open minded. You need to be, there is some rules to have job. And when you want to apply, you're still, for example, you're just graduating and you don't have this experience as they are asking for, but you can't even work with something that you love anymore. So all of your study went for waste. Congratulations, you can put your certificate on the wall in your family house and you can just, your family look at it, because you will become educated. You are educated. You know, you've been studying, I don't know for how many years of your life, for 20 years, 25 years. Sometimes it's going to get to 30 years that you're studying in your life just to get academic certificate, thinking that this is going to help you. But no, it doesn't anymore, which is really crazy, because in the end, you're going to work, I don't know, anything else that you're not even interested in, because this is how the system goes. But it's actually really strange when you think about it, when you start thinking about from where all of this start, you know. You need money to live, but living takes all your money. So what you get from your salary, you have to pay it back somehow, not only as taxes, but also when you pay your taxes, you think that these money are going to help homeless people, for an example, or repair the streets, or doing something that it will be really useful for the society. But in the end, you don't know these money where it's going. And somehow, now in 2025, you will understand that part of your taxes are going to support genocide somewhere else. So this is also a way to think about how life became this way. Did it really became out of nowhere, or we just woke up now to understand how the system goes, you know? And then in the end, they tell you, don't worry, this is a freedom. We're giving you your full freedom as our system. You have freedom to choose between rent or food. You have freedom to be burnout or anxious all the time. You have choice to buy your product from different kind of brands that it's also owned by the same company. It's really amazing choices, you know, like you're totally free. But and if you struggle, they don't ask what's wrong with you, you know, or if you did a mistake, they say this is your fault. You know, it's always the key, the answer for everything happening wrong in your life. It's you. It's not the system. No, it's you. It's not about the work. No, it's you. And in the end, you need to go to therapy, pay your kidney for it, just to have one session of therapy for one day, and it's making you feel worse instead of making you feel better, because there is no wrong with you, because they don't want you to understand that the system itself, it's totally fucked up. So we go to part three right now, when I realized it wasn't really personal. Like, I used to think that it's only me who's going through this, and I used to think that I'm really mentally ill, you know. And then slowly you understand, no, it's not only me. There is a lot of people going through the same thing. Like, for a long time, I thought maybe I'm just not trying hard enough. Maybe I need to try more. Maybe I need to change, for example, my art. Maybe I need to change my my way of communicating with people. Maybe I need to change my language. Maybe I need to change my culture. Maybe I need to change myself. I need to become someone else. But I've never done this gladly. I'm still sticking with who I am as me, you know? But it's not enough to be you these days. It's never been enough to be you these days. Then I look around and I see everyone tired. I see everyone anxious. I see everyone almost okay. You ask anyone, how are you? Okay, I'm okay. Thank you. What's after that? We don't know. No one really know. Even people doing well are scared to stop, scared to rest, scared to fall. That's when somehow it clicked that this is isn't a failure. It's the design, not my design or your design. It's the design of it itself, the system that we're living in. The system that keeps you busy enough to not ask questions, to be tired enough to accept anything that it's happening as it is. For that, Nawal El Saadawi said, exposing lies is the beginning for freedom. And like when you think about it, what does it mean exposing lies? Like whose lies? Who's lying to us? You know, I'm not lying to myself, apparently. So there is something bigger than me, like not bigger than me as a human being, bigger than me that have control over me here in this life, which is the system. If it's capitalism or something else, it's still system. If it's there is different type of systems, but it's all goes to the same hands, which is not us. You know, not normal people like us that we just want to live and do something worthy in our life. And the biggest lie that we start that this is normal. Everything is normal, you know? It's normal to see people dying every day. So you will wake up and you feel it's normal. It's normal to, for an example, kill someone's baby. It will become normal. You know, it's normal to treat animals bad, then it will become normal. It's normal to destroy the earth, then congratulations, it's normal right now. Everything is normal right now. Everything bad, it becomes normal to us. And everything we are doing now, just being busy in our slavery and the work that we're doing, that we need to bring money and live from it, to just buy food and do nothing else than sleeping, eating, so just existing. But even existing itself became so heavy. So what more we should do to change this life, to change what's going on? Because in the end, it's not in my hand. I'm not the system, right? None of you think that they are the system. No, we're not the system. But we can break the system somehow. All you need to do is use your imagination. So let's jump to another thing. I want to jump to being an Arab in this story. Because Arabs didn't just grow up with capitalism. We grow up with a lot of layers like colonialism, occupations, borders, debt, development projects, propaganda. All of this was built on us, on layers, and I saw all of them. They didn't just take the land, they they taught us how to measure ourselves by someone else's standards, which these standards was made by someone who decided to colonize my country, for an example, and do some occupation as well, killing my people, stealing the gold, the oil, the lands, vegetables, culture, everything. And then they put standards that we are animals, that we are not human enough, that we are not modern like them, you know? And they say in the end, like this is a progress, that what they are doing in our land, it's a progress. Progress to who? You're killing the people. Progress to who? You're stealing everything. Progress to who? You know? And then you think about, like, they say, for example, they say that we're gonna build you hospitals, for example. We're gonna fix your streets. We're gonna do you public transportation much better than you have. But you look deeper, and then you see, like, public things are disappearing, you know. Everything became private to which company, from which countries. Even dignity became something, I don't know how to say it, but even dignity became something doesn't really owned by us, you know. So, and somehow we're expected to smile in the end, be grateful, and call it opportunity when they destroy everything in our land. They welcome you to their countries, and then they make you again stuck in the same system but differently. So what I'm saying is I met one occupation to meet another occupation in a different way, without weapons, of course, this occupation that I'm living in now. So after it hit me globally, like especially when I came here, when I looked beyond us as Arab, for an example, people in Europe, they can't afford housing. They can't. For example, here, people, they can't afford housing, and I see it in the streets every day. People in USA, they can't afford medical insurance. It's really expensive. People everywhere, they are working more and living less. So when you think about it, like how many hours you're working per day, and then you go back to your home, which have no colors anymore. It's just modern home, you know, just white, gray, black. There is no colors, and then you just need to come, rest, watch something, sleep. You can just rest for 4 hours before you go to sleep, and then you have to wake up again, go to the work again, do the same thing again, all over again. It's never ending, and they make you believe that this is something normal. It's not something normal. That's why most of us now have really mental problems, because this is not normal. This is not how we're supposed to live. So uh I don't know, it's just like capitalism didn't just colonize land, it colonized life, it colonized brains, imagination, your time, your body. Nawal El Saadawi warned us. She said controlling imagination is a form of domination. Because if you can't imagine something better, you will accept what you have right now. I'm always struggling mentally because I have different kind of imagination of my life, which I feel I'm not getting to it, and I put the blame on myself, but I don't think I'm the one to blame. I don't want to blame myself anymore. I want to say it out loud that this is not my fault. This is the system fault. So why our imagination is broken now? Why we are broken now? It's not because we are broken, it's about they want us to feel this way. They want us to feel that all we need is money, and all we need to have a modern house, and all we need is to have food and water, and that's enough for us, which is not in that way. Now we come to the question, which is really important for me. As always, I need to talk about Palestine. So free Palestine, and let's continue about it. Now the question is why Palestine make it clear or mirror the system to us. For me, I feel like, as I said, like I met one occupation only to meet another, which is totally, it's the best way to describe it, in my opinion, because people think here that occupation comes only with weapons and with killing people physically, which is, it's totally different. Like my eyes are really open to understand that everyone is occupied right now. We are all under occupation somehow. We are under occupation of this system that destroy us mentally, which is gonna destroy us physically, but not with weapons, but with the economic, with the money, which is became the main thing to live for right now. You know, you cost money. You as a human being, they measure you with money right now, which has become something normal and we are all living in it. Because it doesn't only occupy us by tanks or weapon, it water our land with our blood. So you see how control works by movement, by resources, by labor, by slavery. Suffering became like data, humans became numbers, and pain becomes profit, unfortunately. But this is what's happening in our life, and you can see this happening right now in Palestine. But you might not care because maybe there's just different religion, maybe for you, or different color. But in the end, just a reminder, Palestinians, there are Muslims, there is Christian, and there are as well Jewish people. So it's not about religion, it's about what they planted inside your head as a seed to see us as not equal to other people. That's why they call us third world, because for them, this is how they play with our brain, how to make people, nations, less than your own nation, by taking their lands, everything they have, the resources, and then bring it all to your land. And then also they squeeze you enough to to bring them more money by your own work and to pay them taxes, and then to use these taxes again to kill people in another lands. So this is something I wish everyone can think about. So this is the system without makeup, a little bit. I don't know how much more I need to talk about it. But once you see it there, you start seeing it everywhere, really. You will see what's happening in Sudan, in Congo, what happened in Libya, now what's happening in Yemen, what happened in Iraq, in Syria, in Ukraine, in like the list is really huge that I can't end it. So you will open your eyes. You will see that we are all important. Each one of us as a human being, we are really important. And we are all part of this whole system. And we can't really change it. I'm not here to give answers. Like, I'm here because I don't want us to think that we are broken. Because I'm sure there are a lot of people like me that they feel that they are the broken ones, but we're not broken really. It's a system, unfortunately. And I think we need to really break it, not just see it as a broken thing, because it's really strong. It's a broken system because have no logic in it other than slavery. But I don't want to see new generations living in the same system as we are living in now. I'm here to tell you to give yourself a chance to think wider to about what's really important in your life. I want you to really understand also how important you are to the system. They make you feel like you are nothing, but you are really important. Each one of us, it's really important for the system, as much as they make us feel that we're just slaves and we just work for them. But this system can't survive without us. So maybe we need to start thinking how to not make the system survive anymore. As long as there is no use for us from it, it's just damaging us, damaging our life, giving us more traumas. Hopefully, these traumas will not go to the new generation, like to our children, as it did from our parents to us. Maybe it will take too long, but we need to start think about it. We need to start imagine better life than this. It's not always with fighting. Somehow we just need to imagine, to think, to understand how we can change it all. So, because if you imagine the better life, you will understand it's not what we are living. It will be more to collective life. It will be about taking care of each other. Like when I think about this kind of life that I want to get to be in this kind of society, I think about, to be honest, I think about Palestine, because this is how people used to live there. Maybe myself, I've never lived there, but I know the stories from my grandparents. I know it, not only stories, I know it from them, how they used to act with each other, how they used to act with us as a children, what they used to educate us, what they used to tell us, that I am a free human being. I was born to be a free human being. I wasn't born to be a slave. No, This is this is the truth. And this is what we all need to understand and we all need to admit. So if life it's really harder than it should be, I just want you to know that you're not a drama queen. I'm not a drama queen myself. You're just paying attention and your eyes are open. We survived and we still survive with sarcasm, with stories, with community, with art, with memories. And this is how we survive. So I'm 100% sure that we will survive this as well. Hopefully, not silently. As Nawal taught us, that freedom begins within the truth. So try to catch the truth. It's in front of your eyes. And the truth begins when you stop saying this is just how life is. I used to say this is life. Well, now I understand. No, this is not life. With anything used to happen in life, I used to say, okay, this is life. Like what to do? No, this is not life. We created life. We should know. We should imagine better life. If it's not for us, for the new generation, of course. So that's why I wanted to talk today. Of course, not to ruin your mood, just to remind you, you're not alone. You're not crazy. You're not dramatic. And I wish for all of us better life more than just surviving. And this is not weakness. To just survive for now, this is not weakness. And just being a human being. And I wish you all better year than the last year that we had, which was terrible year, but we survived, and I'm sure that we will survive more. Thank you again. Hopefully this episode was good enough. If it's not for everyone, for some, even if it's for one person, for me, this is more than enough. Thank you again. Please, if you can share, subscribe, even if you don't want, it's okay. No worries. Thank you so much and see you again. Ciao.